Welcome to this edition of Week in Review. Today, Mackenzie Campbell is joining Brianna Neely along with Ganem Hanna, and together we're going to give you an update of what's been going on here at the studios of the Loma Linda Broadcasting Network. We also want to feed you spiritually, and we're going to do that with the verse of the day. Ganem Hanna has it. Ganem, which verse did you choose to share with us today?
Well, Marlon, I'm reading from Mark chapter 16, verse 9. It says, "Now when Jesus was risen early the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene, out of whom he had cast 7 devils." 7 devils. Here's the King of Kings, God, Jesus the Lord, proves that he was here for the poor, for the hurting, for the possessed, for the needy, for the sick. And that what just gives us all hope that our God and Father cares for all humanity, regardless of the problems that we have. And then if we continue to seek him, he will seek us out as well.
I find it curious that Jesus revealed himself to Mary Magdalene. That was the first person.
Yep.
And is that significant that he would choose her?
Once again, for me, it's very significant that Jesus didn't necessarily appear for the kings or the mighty or the head of an army. He appeared for some person who...
Or even his disciples.
That's true. So here's Jesus again. Reach out to everybody.
Let's get the female perspective from Brianna.
I would just agree with what Ganem said. I think it just illustrates that Jesus didn't come here for the rich. He came here for the people who needed him and the people who were willing to accept him.
It's almost he's here for the broken system to fix it.
So he was very kind to Mary Magdalene, and I can't think of anybody that he was unkind to. Even when through righteous indignation he drove those money changers out of his father's house, he was not doing it to punish them, so that they might learn and realize that they are on holy ground. God's house is holy ground.
But you just hit on an excellent point. Jesus obviously not ashamed to be among his people. And and he appeared to Mary Magdalene. I wonder if her faith was stronger than the disciples. I wonder if she believed in him even more. I guess we'll never know what the story, why he appeared to her first. But again, here's God not discriminating between man or woman. He's not discriminating between race or nationality. He's a God for all, and and a merciful God. But there's a bigger thing that I want to talk about, that fact he was resurrected. He was resurrected. The fact he was resurrected. He's alive and he's in heaven, and he has the power to resurrect us all from the dead. Not the physical dead only, but the spiritual. He resurrected us so many times throughout our life cycle, from bad habits, from bad situations, from bad beliefs. I mean, I can go on and on. I think we can all relate to that. Whenever I freed myself from drinking, it wasn't so much me, it was Jesus who resurrected me. The time I began to understand what kindness and love is, although it's a cycle and a journey, it was Jesus raising me from that, from the dead again. So I feel like resurrection is the process through our life journey, but as well then when the spirit becomes conditioned and well trained through Jesus, then the physical will become as the latter part.
Well, I've said it before, and I firmly believe this, that we all are given an opportunity to die to sin when we go to bed at night. I mean, the Bible tells us, Jesus tells us, the disciples tell us that death is asleep. King Solomon told us that, David tells us. So what do each night? We go to sleep. And what happens when the sun comes up? We're resurrected. I mean, have you ever looked at yourself in the morning after you have just opened your eyes? You're not the same person that went to bed last night.
Is that why we don't have mirrors in my house?
So I like to view it as an opportunity to begin brand new with Jesus. Brand new. He's resurrected for one day so that you could spend time with him and through that day. And if you fall, hey, you die and be raised up the next day. Just don't forget to confess your sins, because that's really an important part of developing the relationship with Jesus Christ. Get it?
You know, I really believe, and I think we all believe, as well as our beloved viewers, I think the books of heavens are in its final chapter. And the resurrection will be probably closer than most of us realize. And we are living in the days where we have to have that faith in the Lord. We have to have unconditionally know that He has the ultimate power between death and life, and He is the one who's going to gather all His children in His kingdom, and He'll be among us as we would be with Him.
On that great resurrection morning or evening, we don't know when He's
Can you imagine?
ever coming, but it's going to be not long enough for me right now. I mean, if you look at the pain and suffering in this world, it's got to end. I mean, we can't go on like this. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. Thank God we have His Word to show us the light, the path, the future, so that we can deal with these things. I mean, imagine if people that are living in the world don't have this hope. You know, they don't have this hope. I can't even imagine what that must be like.
It's tough. So, actually, one person explains it all very well, Pastor Miguel Mendez, who will be on Christian Connections this evening. You don't want to miss it. He talks about the new beginning. A new beginning. You want to hear it. You want to see it, folks. What time does that air? Does anyone know?
I think it's 6:30 tonight. That's the last
6:30,
opportunity to see it too, because the next time it's going to be on Tuesday, and of course we'll be live with another program, God willing. So tell all your friends to just check the schedule. In fact, there's a lot of things going on this weekend. This is traditionally a holiday weekend for the faithful around the world. And Brianna, we have some special things lined up. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. We have some special programming this weekend, today and tomorrow, and it'll just be movies, music, and more that are geared towards resurrection and Easter and what it's all about. So tune in to find that special programming all weekend long.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ganem, what do you think? What do you think about the ministry of LLBN? Why are we doing this?
Oh, wow, Marlon. For me personally, if I may start with that, I found my life through Jesus and through the work of this ministry. Because through the ministry, I'm learning more and more about our Creator. And I believe the ministry doing the same for many, many like me throughout the world. It's a great ministry. If we don't use the resources that are given to us to share the good news of Jesus, then I don't think we're living up to the task, because we should be rejoicing and cheering and sharing the good news as we are through the broadcast. That's the only way we know how to do it. Others may know how to do it from a pulpit or from another other way through music or whatever. But LLBN, I find it to be a great ministry, and I know some really good friends, and many viewers of LLBN who, when they passed away, their commitment even continued through their family members by honoring their loved ones and LLBN, that during their service, they refused flowers and requested, in lieu of flowers, donations to be made to the ministry of LLBN. And I know those two young ladies, and along with Hannah and Fane and a few others, had working very hard to publish a memorial page that honors those who honors the work of the Lord. So
It's under construction, right?
it's
now
I think
today.
published, but it's not complete. Correct?
Yeah, that
We
is
keep
correct.
populating some older information, but think about those who even when they end their journey on this earth, their family members taken the torch from them and pass it on through their support to the ministry of LLBN by raising thousands of dollars through each memorial service to help carry the message of Jesus Christ. To me, that's really honorable, and it renewed my faith, because it shows that not only me believe in the work of LLBN, tens of thousands more believe in the same ministry. A ministry that I don't own, Marlon. You don't own it. None of us own it. It belongs to the Lord. It belongs to the Lord. And just think, we're given this chance and opportunity, whether donors or workers alike, to serve and spread the good news of Jesus. I tell you, just without Him, this world will be dark. It will be sad. Our lives will be empty.
No, you can see how fast the world is becoming dark. You know, the farther that the people pull away from God, the darker it becomes.
Well, let me ask you, you and I have been lost in the world before. Was it a bright world or was it a dark world?
Well, I relate to what the Bible tells us. You know, men love darkness. You know, when I was in the world, I loved the darkness. I loved that life because, you know, I was in bondage, although I thought I was free. I didn't discover that I wasn't really free. You know, yeah, sure, I was free to be miserable. I was free to be afraid. I was free, you know, to see the horrors that went on in the darkness. I don't want that kind of freedom. I want the freedom of Jesus Christ, where I can sleep at night, that I don't have to worry about, you know, who's outside my window or lurking around because I mistreated someone in my past or whatever. Hey, Jesus is already taken care of all that. He is life-changing, as Ganna mentioned. Have you ever had any experiences like that, Brianna?
I'm sorry, like,
She's still young.
yeah, I guess I'm still young, but I mean,
Yeah, but you've always been walking with Jesus. You
Yeah.
have not really strayed to, you know, the dark side, as they like to call it.
I guess not, but I mean, I think you can see it when you make mistakes or you do things that you realize are wrong. I think no matter what you do, whatever scale it is, if you know it's wrong, it's still a learning experience. So
Yeah.
I think I've had my fair share of learning experiences as well.
Well, I have to tell you that this man that loved the darkness now hates darkness, and I love the light. And I thank you for your prayers and your support, because when you pray for this ministry, when you financially support this ministry, you know, you are changing lives. You're changing lives that you have no idea how you're changing them. But one day, you're going to run into a lot of those people on the streets of gold, and you will hear the stories, and you will be so amazed at the work you did through the Loma Linda Broadcasting Network to take that story of Jesus to a lost population in the world. Get him?
Well, the picture you just drew in my mind, everyone who shares Jesus, it's almost like holding a lit up candle. And you go to someone with a candle that is not lit up, and you touch the fuse and you light it up for them. And they carry that. You don't pass on the torch, you just share the good news. And you light up their torch, and they light up someone else's torch. And the torch is Jesus. The light is Jesus. It's so exciting because, Marlon, I tell you, you said it so well. I wish people just hear that and hear it very carefully. There's no winning in the world. We lose our soul, we lose our sanity, we lose everything. We've been there, it's a dark hole. You don't see it, you think it's light until you see what light is. And Jesus is light. Without him, everything is just worthless.
Very well put. Very well put. Less than a minute. Mackenzie has something to share about one of our great friends. You know her and you love her. Mackenzie?
Yeah, so Vonda Bierman is coming to Loma Linda April 28th. She's doing a concert and we're sponsoring her. And that concert's going to be at Loma Linda Academy's Chan Auditorium. It'll start at 6:30 p.m. It'll go till 8. And she invites everyone of all ages. It's going to be a Christian music concert, so everyone is welcome to come. It's free, too. So.
Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Weekend Review. We'll see you next time with cards and letters. Don't forget to write. Bye-bye.